Hello everyone and welcome to another video. And welcome to 10 more ways to spot a romance scammer. In this video we're going to look at some of the common things that the romance scammers and other scammers say. If the person that you're talking to online starts to sound as if they've been quoting phrases from this video, then there's a very high chance that you're talking to a scammer. Number 1. Repeatedly replying to statements you've made with "Wow!" even if it's completely inappropriate. James had asked Serafina where she lives, and she'd told him, "I live in a little town called Glastonbury. It's in Somerset in England. Where are you?" To which James replied, "Wow! That's great!" And when Serafina said, "Oh, do you know it?" his reply was, "No." A similar thing happened to Celia. "Where are you from?" asked this potential Romeo. "I live in Durham," she said. "It's in the northeast of England. Where are you?" "Wow! That's a nice place," he said, and then admitted that he didn't even know where it was. And why just say it once when you can say it twice? This chap had asked Annie what she did. She said, "I work on the checkouts of our local supermarket." "Wow!" he replied, followed by, "Would you mind if I asked how old you are?" "I'm 55, she said. "How old are you?" To which our man replied, "Wow!" Hillerson Smith was completely wowed by Denise, repeatedly replying with things such as, "Wow, you can send it here, okay?" Or, "Wow, that's wonderful," and even, "Wow, darling, I miss you too." James Russell couldn't help but be wowed by the time in the UK. "What time is it over there now?" he'd asked Serafina. "It's nearly 6:30, she'd said. "I should go and cook some dinner." "Wow!" he said, with 3 exclamation marks. "Here is 7:30. And when I searched Google chat records for the word "wow" in Celia's chats, well, both Richard Minch and Kelly Adams Williams were just so wowed they couldn't help repeating themselves. Wow! Number 2. Repeated use of the word "really." You make a statement, or you tell the scammer something, and their reply is, "Really?" To which all of my girls have now learnt to reply, "Yes, really." Harrison Smith had just said good morning to Denise, who told him, "It's raining here." To which he replied, "Really?" And you know Denise's reply, "Yes, really," she said. Lewis Brown wanted a Steam card and told Celia she could get one in Walmart. "I'm in the UK, darling," she said. "We don't have Walmart." "Really?" said our unfortunate scammer. "Yes, really," replied Celia. Celia also struggled to get any sense at all out of Richard Minch, and finally said, "I have a good idea. Why don't you call me and tell me what you do?" "Really?" he said. "Yes, really," replied Celia. Nick Jeffries was so hooked on replying "really" that when I searched their chat for the famous phrase, "Yes, really," this is what came up. Serafina received one of many marriage proposals from John T. West, who said, "Will you marry me?" "I can't agree to marry a man I've never met," Serafina said. To which John West replied, "Really? Can you send me your picture, please?" "Yes, really," said Serafina. "Why would I want to marry a man I've never met?" Number 3. One of the absolute giveaways that you're talking to an African scammer is repeated use of the question, "Have you eaten?" or "Have you had breakfast? Have you had dinner?" Some of my commenters have pointed out that in some of the African languages, "Have you eaten?" is just used in the way that in English you would say to somebody, "How are you?" We probably don't want to know how someone is, any more than they really want to know if we've eaten. It's just a greeting. Murphy Evans was very concerned to make sure that Denise was eating properly. Being older, Denise often gets upset and offended and tells the person that she can still look after herself. And Serafina's eating habits seemed to be of interest to several of her intended Romeos, all of whom wanted to know, had she had something to eat? Have you had something to eat? Have you eaten breakfast? Have you eaten dinner yet? Have you eaten lunch? Nick Jeffries and Mike Anderson were very concerned about Annie, repeatedly asking, "Have you eaten?" And both Richard Minch and Lewis Brown had a deep concern for Celia's eating habits. Number 4. Allay, a word that's often used by the scammers. And there's been much debate in the comments section about what it actually means. But what I've come to realise is that the scammers use it as a kind of code. There are so many fake profiles on social media that the scammers need some way of working out whether they're talking to a genuine potential victim or just talking to each other. If they think they're talking to another scammer, they say allay, and I presume that if you are another scammer, something that I obviously deny being, you'll simply back off or say hello. My girls, of course, always play innocent and ask them what they're talking about. The scammers' explanations for what allay means are many and varied. When Mighty Banks started to wonder about Celia, he said allay, and she said, "What does that mean?" His explanation was, "Allay is a street in Manitoba, which I stay, my love." Mick Dra's explanation wasn't nearly so creative. When Annie asked him what does allay mean, his reply was, "Mistake I was writing." When Seraphina asked Eric where he lived, his reply was, "Allay." "Where's that?" asked Seraphina. "Sorry," he said, "not your message." Seraphina asked him again, "What does it mean if it isn't a place?" To which he replied, "Allay is like a player here, just a nickname we call ourselves. Was in a friend's message profile. Sorry about that." And when Alan Patrick was trying to tell Denise about the company he worked for, he was forced to explain that Allay was the name of the company owner. Number 5. Repeated demands for you to send them photographs. Sometimes just a demand, "Send me a photo," and sometimes accompanied by emotional blackmail, "Send me a beautiful picture of yourself." Some ask politely, some just demand, "Can you send me a picture of you right now?" Lewis Brown demanded of Celia. "Send me a picture of you." "Send me a beautiful picture of you," the fake Eric Whittaker asked. Sergeant Wilkinson said, "Can you send me a beautiful picture of you right there?" Followed later by, "Can you send me more of your beautiful picture there, love?" If you're looking at the screen, the comments in red are from accounts that I've blocked. Pal Scots knew how to turn on the flattery. "Baby, please send me a very beautiful picture of you," he asked. "Please send me your picture." "Can you send me some of your picture?" John T. West asked. And we all know how futile it is to ask Denise to send a picture, but that doesn't stop them asking. "Sounds lovely, honey. Can you send me a picture?" "If I may ask," said McKinney Alex, "can you send me your beautiful picture?" And Murphy Evans said, "Send me a picture for your phone, honey." Number 6. Repeatedly saying am instead of I am or I'm, as in am an engineer. Am from New Jersey City. Thanks for accepting my request. Am single, looking for a serious relationship. Am an engineer. I work in Scotland. Am an hyperbaric welder, said Derek Jaden. Am a contractor. Freelance, said Fred Wally. And finally, poor Andrea Max. Am an orphan. And in case you're feeling sorry for our poor orphan boy, he preceded that by saying, am 56 years. Number 7. Repeatedly asking you apparently random questions, sometimes in the middle of a conversation about something else. What's your favourite colour? Being, well, a favourite. Davidson and Celia had been discussing flowers. He said there's no way I could get any flowers right now, not until I'm done with my contract. I know, said Celia. I was just teasing you. And I'm falling, he said. You're unique. What's your favourite colour? Victor Benson went one step further. He asked, what is a favourite colour or your favourite food? Muff Morris, you remember Muff, just said, tell me, sweetie, what are your favourite colours? And Eric Whittaker Chat just said, honey, what is your favourite colour? In fact, he asked her twice. Brandon Burleson thought he'd turned it into a guessing game. "What's your favourite colour?" he asked, followed by, "Can I guess?" Number 8. The world, apparently, is a stressful place if you're a scammer, and they will repeatedly say things such as, "Hope you're not feeling stressed. Hope your job doesn't stress you." Celia's stress levels gave several of her potential suitors cause for concern. "Hope no stress at work, honey?" asked Michael Richard. Kelly Adams Williams said, "Please don't stress yourself too much with work, okay?" And Mighty Banks didn't want anything that will stress you. Muff Morris was also very concerned that his sweetie didn't get stressed. "Oh, okay, sweetie, I don't want to stress yourself with lots of work today, sweetheart." Or, "Oh, okay, sweetie, I don't want stressing yourself, okay?" Eric Whittaker Chat was concerned that Annie didn't stress herself. "Please make sure you don't stress yourself that much. Please, babe." And John William was concerned that doing her housework might be more than Seraphina could cope with. "With what you're doing at home, cleaning and all that, might get you stressed, my love." In fact, he just seemed to be concerned about Seraphina's stress levels in general. "Hello, darling," he'd said a few minutes earlier. "How are you doing, my heart? And hope you're not getting stressed, my heart." Number 9. Where am I? If your own geography isn't good, Google Maps will always help you out. Look up what the person that you're talking to online is telling you. Look up where they live or where they claim to live. Luca Esposito said he came from Italy and lived and worked in Miami, Florida. When he was asked, "What do you do in Miami?" his reply was, "Is a country in USA." One budding Romeo said, "I currently have a contract in Damascus, Syria, as a sailor." Which was interesting, because Google Maps tells me that Damascus is nearly 250 kilometres from the sea in Syria. This chap claimed to live in Nolansville in the USA. He said, "It's a city." And when Celia asked him, "Is it a big city?" his reply was yes. Wikipedia informed me that the population of Nolansville is 13,800. For comparison, the population of New York, which I think you would say is a big city, is 8.8 million. This confused scammer had said that he was at university in London, in the UK. When he was asked which university he was at, his reply was New York High School. And last, but very definitely not least, number 10. Hangouts or WhatsApp. The person that you're talking to online almost immediately wants you to move away from the dating website or social media site that they've met you on and asks you to move to Hangouts/WhatsApp. This isn't because they want to talk to you privately or they want to get to know you, in quotes, more better. It's because they're afraid that the platform that you're currently chatting to them on is going to delete their fake account. "I would like us to talk more via Google Chat," said Alan Patrick to Denise. Google Chat is what they're now calling Hangouts. Johnny Grayson asked Seraphina, "Do you make use of WhatsApp?" She told him that she didn't, but that she used Hangouts. "Okay," he said, "that's good. I make use of it as well." Lucas Stephen also wanted to get off Facebook. "My dear friend," he said to Annie, "I would love to have your email address or your WhatsApp number so that we can talk more better there. We can also send a good photo and a good letter to each other." You can, of course, do all of those things on Facebook. This was actually the hardest part of this video to find the quotes for, because, of course, almost all of their fake accounts had been deleted from Facebook. And you'll notice that most of the previous quotes I've used have come from Google Hangouts or Chat. Andrew Sunday also thought Hangouts was a good idea. "I will like to talk more better with you," he said, "and seize more pictures about ourselves on Hangouts. If you wouldn't mind sending me your email so I can add you up." And Murphy Evans also had a premonition that his Facebook account might disappear, saying to Denise, "Due to the nature of my job, I'm not always active here, if you don't mind. Can we exchange contact so that we can chat somewhere else, more better?" There are, of course, many other giveaways that you're talking to a scammer, and maybe, in the not too distant future, I might make yet another video, yet another 10 ways to spot a romance scammer. But I guess the moral of the story is that if somebody contacts you out of the blue on social media, just think very carefully why they might have contacted you if they don't already know you or they aren't a friend of a friend. And if you're on a dating website looking to make a connection with someone, think very, very carefully about the person that you're talking to. If you'd like to watch the original video, 10 Ways to Spot a Romance Scammer, I've left the link in the description box below. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.